Welcome to On the Road with Bill Holub podcast.
Hello, this is Bill Holub from Steam Trap Survey. Today we're going to discuss training maintenance staff, and first we'll introduce Jesse.
Hi, I'm Jessie Holub. I'm with Branding with Jessie. I do a lot of media for Steam Trap Survey LLC, including podcast production, video editing, social media management, book edits, and more.
And again, I do Steam Trap surveys and Air Leak surveys. That's pretty much what I do. And if you have any interest, send me an email. So training and maintenance staff is critical. I spend a lot of time on my surveys doing just that. I think it's pretty critical to explain as we're doing the survey to whoever walks with me, to show them what I'm seeing, how I'm testing, and if they have that piece of equipment, even training them on how to use it if they haven't used it at that point, as well as explaining the different types of traps that we're seeing and how we test them and why we test them. There's a difference between open and closed traps and continuous traps and how you test them. It's pretty critical that you know what you're doing. It's not very difficult as far as using the equipment, but it's more difficult identifying what you're looking at and seeing the results of what you're testing.
How often should a steam system be inspected?
Steam systems definitely once a year. If you don't do it any sooner, once a year is really a must. And Department of Energy it determines it based on steam pressure. So if you're above 100 psi, 100 psi and above, you're going to want to do that. They say weekly, but no one does that. So we're talking maybe monthly, quarterly, for sure once a year. If you're at a lower steam pressure, like maybe just heating, then once a year is sufficient because pretty much the steam traps are off 6 months of the year anyway. So I would say a lot of places that I go to test steam traps by temperature, they are doing it probably monthly or quarterly. But if you want to do it correctly, you really should use an ultrasonic device. There's really three ways of testing steam traps. One is visual. That's the best way. That's when they drain to the ground. You can see the steam coming out, the water coming out, or maybe there's nothing coming out. But that's the best way. But most 99% of the applications out there don't drain to the ground. So you don't have that option unless you have a T apparatus where you can test it visually. And again, most places don't have that. So the second way of doing it, second best way of doing it is temperature. That's where a lot of the maintenance people use temperature, whether it's a spot temperature or a thermal image. It kind of gives you an idea whether the trap's hot, gives you an idea of what the temperature drop is across the trap. That's probably done monthly or quarterly. And then ultrasonic is the best way because you can hear inside the trap. If you know what type of trap you're looking at, you can tell what it's doing, whether it's working, whether it's rattling, whether it's doing something it's not supposed to. You can hear it. But you have to know what you're listening to, what type of trap it is. That is done, it should be done by an outside source, annually.
What if the trap population is large?
Well, trap population for a surveyor like myself doesn't really matter, just takes more time. But for maintenance personnel, if you have a large population, then if you want to inspect it, unit by unit or building by building, 1 month do one building, 1 month do one unit, whatever type of system you have, just break it down. If there's 12 units or if there's 12 different buildings you're doing, do one a month and test it that way.
Okay, what should the training include?
Well, training includes, where are the traps and what do you have as far as a list of traps, and then what type of trap are you listening for? You have to know what you're listening for. Inverted bucket traps and thermodynamic traps are open and closed traps. You want to make sure they shut. You have floating thermostatic traps, then you have thermostatic traps, then you have venturi orifices. Those are continuous traps. They're not going to shut. They might, but they're not expected to shut. But you want to hear a continuous type movement through those three types of traps. So training should be, what are you looking at? What type of trap are you looking at? Where do you test them? What do you touch? How far up are you looking? As far as you're using ultrasonic, you want to test upstream, and then you want to test downstream of the trap. As far as temperature goes, again, you want to do upstream and downstream, but you want to measure it on the same type of pipe. You don't want to measure one side on a union and one side on a pipe. And you want to make sure it's black pipe. You don't want to check, check valve where it's bronze or brass. You're not going to get a good reading on that. So if you have pipe upstream and pipe downstream, temperature-wise, that's what you want to test on. That's kind of what you're looking for as far as training goes. That's really the answer. And I guess that's the end of the questions. Again, just give us a call if you need any help, whether you need help with the podcast, whether you need help with Jesse has set up this podcast. He was able to get secure all the equipment needed, knows how to get that product and get it tested and get it set up. So give her a call or email if you're looking to do some podcasts. It's pretty easy once you get started. And that's about it for this week. And until next week, have a good time. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Look forward to our next podcast.